Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to episode 3 of the Millenniolds podcast. I am joined with my co-host Angie Gray and Risa. Say what's up, everybody. We've been on a brief hiatus, as you know, because a lot of things in the background have been going on, but we are back, and I hope you guys missed us. And we have episode 3 today, where we're talking about social media. The title of today's episode is 140 characters or less. Although we do know that Twitter has updated that, so that's not 100% accurate, but that's okay. That's true. You can't hear anybody? Wait, why can't you hear anybody? Oh my goodness. Give me a second. Wait, can you hear Bromo? You guys can only hear me. Give me a sec.
3, 1, 2, 3.
Tez.
There you go. There you go. Can you guys talk now?
Talking.
Did we have to start this whole intro over again?
I can edit it. I can edit it out. I'll edit it out.
Okay, we're doing this live. Okay, anyway, carrying on. Continue, Gray. So, what I was saying was
I'm talking now. Can you hear me? I can hear Bro. Okay,
they can hear you now. I had one setting wrong and I forgot about it. It's fine.
And they hear me?
They can hear everybody. Because I can see it. I can see that they can hear you. I'll edit this will be edited out in the audio version of the podcast. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we're just doing this live as usual, so.
Anyway, I was gonna say I've only been camping twice, I think, and it was with, my friend's family because my family never went camping.
We have to start over.
Black thing. Why?
We don't have to
start. They didn't hear anything.
No, he's saying
he can edit.
He's recording the audio separate.
Okay.
Gray, pay attention.
I'm confused. Okay, anyways, yeah.
Now I have to edit that part out.
Yep.
You have two different audio files.
Easier for him, but so TJ,
you know what? No, leave that.
Designer.
Leave that so people
I'm leaving it.
Understand how Gray is.
Audio engineer. He is our tiny hands.
I am everything for this podcast. This podcast functionally does not run without me.
That is very true.
All of that out.
True. Yep.
That is very true. Okay, so anyway, back on track. So yes, Gray went and traveled. I moved. I will not tell you guys where I moved, like actual location, because there's some stalkers in this world. But I moved from the West Coast to the Midwest, and
she's in Texas.
I had to get back to real work, real life. So anyway, that's basically what I was doing during that little hiatus period.
Clarify something. When I say camping, I really mean glamping, because I was camping in an RV. It was.
Is that really glamping though? Glamping is when you
I mean that would be like more of like hotel stays or something like that.
Or like those really
I don't know, or like really fancy
cabins with like the.
Oh yeah.
That's glamping.
Okay, I mean I was just clarifering because I don't know.
Taking like a mattress with.
I don't know. I've been actually camping.
No one said you were naked and afraid. They think camping.
I'm not going. Are you kidding me? The mosquitoes out there would destroy you,
bruh.
Oh,
dude, my God. They're so bad.
I can only imagine.
So
I kind of thought about moving to Colorado, but
Colorado's a beautiful state.
Colorado's nice.
It really is.
You were gonna say, TJ?
Oh, I've been camping before when I was a lot younger. It was fun. It was just like this was like tent camping though. This wasn't like we couldn't afford an RV. I mean, I'm sure we could, but I was in a tent that I got from Walmart. So, and it rained, and we had to take a shower outside. We had to shit outside, and yeah, it was fun though.
Maybe we should do a little sidebar before we get started. Like,
Yeah,
what's your worst camping experience? Because I have one too. As a kid, we were on. So, we were at a sports retreat. It was for a soccer championship, and we were all camping at a campground, the whole team and everybody. And the same thing happened. It started raining, but when I think I was like 8 or 9. So at that age, when you're sleeping as a child, like you're sleeping, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And all I remember is like my dad scooping me up in the middle of the night. The tent is like broken. I'm soaking wet, and it's like literally like a hurricane in this camp down near like the Michigan border.
That's terrible.
It was crazy. That's like the only thing I remember though. It's just like rivers of water pouring into the tent, and it's just destroyed. It was wild.
Crazy.
That sounds
What
horrible.
about you, Bromo?
I didn't go camping as a kid, so.
Have you ever been camping?
Yeah, but a worst camping experience. I don't.
Where all your camping experience? Because I don't have a bad one. Because I only went like twice.
I only camped like maybe like one day. I mean, I did one time go into water that was.
Wait, does winter and summer camp count?
Like
I would assume so, yeah.
No, like you overnight. Yeah, okay, then I have been camping multiple times. I used to go to Christian camp. I blacked that out of my brain because those were some. I do have bad camping experiences.
I went to like a farm camp.
Well,
I don't actually want to bring that up. Actually,
yeah, I got in water that was like.
I am traumatized.
DJ, can you edit that part out too?
All those.
I pushed Christian camp out of my brain, and then it just came rushing back. Like, oh no, bitch, you've been camping.
I mean, it could be band camp.
You've been
camping. One time had band camp.
Essentially, but not like that. Anyway, so
let's start with the.
Wait, TJ didn't tell his bad experience, and then we'll go into everything else for the rest of it.
Mine wasn't just bad. It was just it rained the second night we were there, and like I said, we were just outside, so there wasn't like a place where you could get dry per se until like the next day. And
you were just freezing all night.
Yeah, I was just it was just freezing because it was summertime. It's like I was just wet, and it just was uncomfortable.
I feel you.
Now, was this before or after the Cold War ended? As our oldest host here, I just
Dang.
This was like
I thought you were just congratulating on all
I'm
the
not
work
even
that he's done.
I am the oldest
but
here.
absolutely.
I'm not even the oldest here, but I am the oldest here. Shit.
You
I
are.
forgot I am.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Don't you turn 40 this year?
No. Oh my God. Risa.
The way that I almost just came through this microphone, girl.
Ooh.
No, she didn't call me almost 40.
She did, dude. I guess TJ, you need to moisturize, I think is what she's saying. Just make sure to moisturize.
listen, we're not not about the roast TJ.
This is a roast session. We're not going to do that. Let's get on topic. Go ahead, Bromo.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? I mean, Angie, go ahead and tell us what we're talking about today.
Well, no, I was gonna mention a couple of other things. Remember?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right? Is that what we were gonna start with?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, guys, we're a little discombobulated. This is our first week back after a while,
too, right?
So yeah, just kind of we're getting back into the swing of things. Don't worry. Go ahead, Bromo.
Let's see. We were gonna ask TJ what he's done in the meantime of our because he didn't say anything.
Oh, I mean, I did.
What have you been doing during the hiatus? I forgot.
I moved my content creation to YouTube. 100% to YouTube. Like no more on Twitch for various reasons. Twitch has a lot going on right now, and I just don't want to be there anymore.
Did y'all see the DMCA email? That wasn't really a DMCA fix. we won't even go there.
Right. And that's the thing with something that I'm gonna do too is like I honestly I can't really stream. I just don't have time. And it's also because if I'm on a platform or whatever, or any employer or whatever that I work for, like I want to make sure that they're, looking out for me. And obviously they've shown that they don't care. And so
True.
I just, don't want
Facts.
to give them any more of my money really, or like, make money for them because why?
Yeah. I'm in an interesting space because I do plan on bringing back my streaming schedule. I do plan on uh kind of streaming games, but also bringing in more medical content.
Ooh.
You
So
could do YouTube though, or
yeah, and so that's where I'm at right now. Do I continue to grow Twitch, even though Twitch is kind of dying, or do I move to YouTube and like just branch from there? I do have a
So our
YouTube channel.
first social media of the night is Twitch. We're gonna work backwards here. And
Right?
as you can see, we have different streamers that are choosing to switch platforms for what most of you, I'm assuming, watching knows. Twitch is kind of
Which is just
big
not
Well,
meaty
it's
head,
kind of what I'm
for
doing
lack of a
right
better
now.
word.
Like I switched to Fan House, and so I've made more on there than I did on Twitch for a while,
okay. Well,
Like
since we are bringing up social media, let's go ahead and
yes.
just jump into today's topic. So today's topic is about social media, and it's about a variety of things. But what we want to kind of start with is, where did you start? Where did your journey start with social media? Now, I will say a quick little tidbit. The first documented actual social media. Now, if you look online, there'll be things earlier than this, but this is the first platform where you actually had people socializing with each other. And that was called 6 Degrees. It was launched in 1997, and it was created by Andrew Winrich. I am so sorry if I
What
messed up
was
your
it
last name.
called?
6 Degree, like 6 degree of separation.
Like like
No,
mm,
like 6 degrees of sexual separation.
No,
Not
what?
no, like 6 degrees of separation. You've never heard that saying before?
no, can't say that I
No.
have.
TJ, please tell me you've heard.
Wait, you guys never heard of the phrase 6 degrees of separation?
No.
No.
Oh my god.
Are you serious? Okay, so let me explain it real quick. 6 degrees of separation is
Yeah,
basically
please
like
do.
it's the most simplest concept. 6 degrees of separation is like there is 6 people between me and me knowing someone like Barack Obama.
Right.
I heard it was 3.
Okay.
No, it's 6 degrees.
Hmm.
So like
I'm gonna have
between
to
me and
check you on
so
that
I can
one.
so I can
Check
go
it.
I can go from like myself to somebody to somebody to somebody to somebody. By the time I get to the 6th person, it should be Barack Obama, which I
Right.
kind of do. I kind of do have that.
I think all Black people do, actually,
Yeah.
to be honest.
You know who I know? No, I'm just kidding. I don't.
So, interesting fact, it's actually now, because of our topic today, social media, it is now the 3 degrees of separation saying.
Okay, yeah, fine, sure.
Okay,
But that
Just
whatever.
saying, I
was
just
was
Googled
it
it.
not? Hold on, was it not 6 degree though?
Apparently, I have no idea.
Just
You're
Google
like
6
great.
degrees.
Oh.
Great. You're the youngest one here. Of course, you know the newer one. Like obviously, I'm surprised Bromo didn't know it though. Like
True. I am pretty young.
It's-
Did anyone hear a child in the background?
and the crickets.
Okay, so as we bring up 6 degree, none of us ever used it. I don't think any one of us used 6 degree of separation.
Never used it.
the concept was originally set out in a 1929 short story.
That
Hey,
makes
can I
sense.
tell you a fun fact on the meaning of gossip, on how the term gossip was created?
Sure, Brahma. I mean, Angie. Damn it, I keep doing that.
I call it too.
So, they would, instead of like doing the news by like newspaper and stuff, no one, would know what was going on. So they would send people out to the bars and stuff and listen to conversations. So it's like, go sip at a bar. And then it turned into gossip.
Oh, that makes sense. That actually makes sense.
That does.
Yeah.
We
To
need
get
like a
like
little.
what's hot on the street.
We need a sound effect for like a fun fact of the day or a fun fact of the episode.
Oh yeah, can you
Oh,
buy
yeah.
me one of those? What are they
Like
called?
an easy button.
A stream deck.
No, buy me that and a Go XLR, and I'll do it for you.
I gotta get myself one first. Calm down.
You guys do know I have one, right?
Shh, I'm trying to sucker him to buying me one.
Sucker
What are
who?
you doing?
Me?
No,
No, me.
great.
Oh,
Listen here, Dr. Risa. Miss, I'm doing medical streams.
That's why she needs money. She needs
know,
stuff. You need to
Yeah.
support her now, because then later on she'll support you.
Listen,
Facts.
she already divorced me, so it's
We're
okay.
not bringing this
Quit,
to the
yeah,
podcast.
This is
never
why
mind,
I
never
support
mind.
my
Please do
children.
not bring this to the podcast. I am
Anyway, so
happily
back
in a
to social
relationship for
media.
10 years. Do not put this on the podcast.
After 6th degree, what was after 6th degree?
Okay, so this is where we start to get into a realm that we've actually used. So we're not going to really dive into messengers, but the first social media platform messenger would be AOL Messenger. Well, it was actually Yahoo and then MSN and AOL. We're all kind of around the same time.
yeah.
So that is where we see the birth of social media. So for our generation. So what I will do is opening it up to the oldest. TJ, why don't you tell us about your timeline of social media, what you started with, what you ended with, and then more about how social media was back then versus today for you.
I don't know if I like being called the oldest, like I'm super ancient, like I built the first computer, but
You might have.
so
You built the second one, right?
yeah, I built the Apple II.
I think he called it the pear instead of the apple.
I hate it here, but anyways, I started. I think me personally, I started actually on AOL Instant Messenger. Fun fact: my name was like TJ Pac 218. I was really into Tupac way back then. So and Tupac and TJ, like it just, I don't know. In my mind, it went together.
No.
It was cool back then. But yeah, that's where I started, and we basically used Instant Messenger to mostly talk to friends and troll. We didn't call it trolling back then. We just be like, I'm fucking with somebody, more or less, because I don't think we called it trolling. And then after that, I think I briefly I didn't really use social media that much. In general, when I was younger, like MySpace and all this stuff. Like I did have a MySpace page, but I wasn't like all in on MySpace, like a few of my friends were. And we also had this. It was this social media platform called, I think it was called Black Planet. Is the name of it, and it was for like people of color to have like their own social media. I think it was called Black Planet. Like I was on that a little bit, but I used that to kind of talk to girls or whatever. Like that was the purpose for me that I wanted to use it for. But I think Black Planet was like more so like, I don't know if it was a dating site, but I think it was a social media as well. But yeah, I know everybody grew up in like the MySpace era, where like a lot of like millennials my age started out on the MySpace era, where like, and MySpace was basically used as like, hey, I just wrote a song, or I just made I just drew something, let me show it to you, type thing. And you kind of back and forth between friends, and like you would like pimp out your MySpace page however you
With-
wanted to, with like all kind of glitter and glitz and glamour and all kind of shit, and like your I guess whatever music you made, you would have playing in the background as
song.
well.
No, can I say something about that though? Like, I wish someone would have told me, like, hey, that's HTML. Like, stick with that, because then you
Talking
could
about
have.
the
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
were programmers.
Yeah,
you could like
100%.
change the colors and everything.
But
100%.
now I would have to stare at it for like 10 hours to realize, oh yeah, this is.
But
I
that
mean, I have to like take classes and all that stuff.
But the crazy part about that is, like it's basic programming. Like kids know how to do that shit now. Like it's not nothing you have to go, like
Oh,
back
yeah,
then
yeah.
you'd have to, that's something you have to, like a skill you have to learn. Like now, they probably have a TikTok about it.
Remember when?
You're not
Remember
wrong.
Like
when?
websites. My
Remember
son
when you
wants to
just
learn
try to like
coding.
copy paste it perfectly, and then you like leave out a freaking parentheses or a period, and then you go press enter, and everything's fucked up, and you got to figure out what the hell you just
Where it
did.
is. Or
Yeah.
you gotta change it to a bracket and you forget the other, like the left side bracket, and you
Oh
change to the right side
God.
one.
Yeah,
And
that
yeah. Oh yeah, I
that
remember
was
doing
gross.
all that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then so after that, I kind of like got off the internet for a while in the realm of like social media is concerned. And then so years went by, and then this new social media called Facebook popped up. And at first, you had to be a college student and you had to have an EDU account in order to even create a Facebook page.
Oh, I
So,
don't remember that.
I'm showing my age again, I guess, obviously. So, yeah, if you didn't have an EDU email address, you could not sign up for Facebook. And you had to wait till you get out into your area too. Like, it was weird. Like if Facebook was in your area, you couldn't make an account. But once you did, Facebook was like the beginning of like, I guess, the blueprint on how we kind of use social media now, where it's like keep in touch with friends and family. Well, it wasn't even family because like it was mostly college kids, and it was just basically like an update on your life, right? So like if I'm going out to the club on Friday night, I'm like, hey, I'm about to go hit up the compound, ATL, 10 o'clock. Who else coming? Type thing, and like people were like,
Just
oh, people were like and comment and stuff like that, and like it was very uh basic
you
what
know
you could
what
do with Facebook.
you know what you're describing. Everything that you described was like basically still social media today. Like we still
Oh no, I
tweet
disagree.
out, we still comment, we still like. Um, I mean that's kind of why it's also something that our brain has been accustomed to, is like we want that engagement.
Oh, I disagree about that 100%. Like,
You don't
so
think that
no, I don't think
about numbers?
no, that's true, but I think social media uh it's changed differently in what it used to be that, yes,
Oh,
but
right. Well, oh my God, I mean, it's so broad that we could talk about that as far as social media, like imaging and stuff,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
being different nowadays. Like TikTok has so much like body positivity, and mental health is a big thing now too, and that's all great. Like I'm glad that like that's all being brought out as being accepted, because our social media wasn't. Does that
Correct. Yeah. Um
we just
yeah. And then
it
so
would.
so after so I got off Facebook for a while. I just hated it. And
No.
funny enough, the one that I'm most active on now is on Twitter. And I created a Twitter. This is it's funny to me. But I created a Twitter for the sole purpose, and this was like when Twitter first came out in 2009. I created my Twitter account for the sole purpose of trying to ask out and get on a date with Rihanna. Because the first person I
That's
followed
probably not gonna happen.
because the first
So
person I followed on
no,
Twitter
I'm
is
just.
Rihanna. Obviously,
You made
well,
it.
you don't know that. Listen, in 2009, I was hot shit. Like I was hot shit. Like I didn't have the dad bod. I had a 6-pack. I had a gold grill, and I was hot shit
Oh
back then.
my gosh.
I found a recent not MySpace, Facebook post that I posted back in my college days that was like, I'm never gonna make a Twitter. And then here I am now
Yep.
on Twitter. And Facebook is like, I don't want to, like, it's just so, like, MySpace, I guess.
Yeah,
If that,
exactly. And I don't know if any other social media. I guess Instagram and Snapchat and
And
everything else, like,
TikTok.
and TikTok. I do use TikTok because I think
Vine.
TikTok is hilarious. Vine, oh my god. So
I
Vine
miss
was
Vine.
made. So Vine was made by Twitter, and
Yeah.
what I liked most about Vine was that Vine, it forced creativity because you had 6 seconds to grab somebody's attention, and if that 6 seconds, I can't talk right, and if that
oh,
6 seconds was not hitting right, like you lost that person, and no one would engage with your post, and like people were making like super creative like skits within that 6 second time frame, and people blew up from that. And
Do you
then
think
go
oh,
ahead.
I'm sorry, keep going.
And then like I think Instagram made their thing where they can make videos, and then people like transitioned from there to Instagram because they had like longer versions of them to allow more creative freedom for that as well.
Do you think and this is just a side note really quick, we can come back to it, but I know that there was already a group of people who were like making their following and they're living through YouTube at this time, right? They had been doing it for a while.
Hmm.
But do you think Vine opened the floodgates for what we see now today? As far as like quick fame, like quick, like make us get online, all of a sudden you have sponsors, now you're just like hanging out with celebrities and now you're just like internet famous. Do you think Vine was the start of that, or do you think that was
I
happening
think
before?
I think Vine was started the transition of, hey, I can make money doing this type thing.
Right.
It wasn't super mainstream. Like Vine didn't make it mainstream, but
To be honest,
Vine
I've
was the
never seen
spark.
Vines.
Really?
I think I watched like a handful, and I don't know if I could remember.
Wow.
Dude, Vine was
Yeah.
I
my
just remember
jam.
Do you
I
know?
remember them having Vine meetups where like they
Oh
would
yeah.
come, like they would all
Yeah.
get together and then
But
they would have fans come out and like do all of that. Like it was a
You
whole
know
Twitch
one of the
con.
one of the biggest streamers is from Vine, Courage on YouTube. He
oh
Yeah.
started
really?
on Vine. Yeah,
Vine-
that's
Yeah,
where he
with his
got
pod
his.
videos and stuff.
Yep.
So
People were called
um
Viners, like how people are called TikTokers. Like there
Yes,
was
Yep.
a
It
thing.
was a thing,
it was a thing.
and then it was
well,
Snapchat,
what about the
and then
website Bebo? Did you, Risa,
I
do
don't
you know
even know what
about
that
Bebo?
is.
You said that before we brought it up before and I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, it was like that was late high school maybe. But it was like it was before MySpace, but it was just like I don't
I've never heard of
know, a
Bebo either.
PG MySpace or whatever. And one of the things I also wanted to comment on that I heard before um was whenever MySpace was big, it was like different than how influencers are now. You know,
Well,
MySpace,
there
I
was no
mean,
influencers back then.
No,
yeah,
there
that's the
Oh,
thing.
there
Because
absolutely
back
was
influencers on MySpace.
then,
influencers.
There was.
Really?
Oh
Maybe
yeah.
I was just too young.
who was it? Tila
Huge.
Tequila. Do you remember?
Yeah,
She
Tila
was
Tequila.
big on
He who
MySpace.
shall not be named in the makeup community, Jeffree Star, was big on MySpace.
Hmm.
Mm.
There was a lot of.
I
I
don't
even
think they
think
were.
Shane was live on. Or was
I
big.
don't think they were called influencers, but they were
No, but they
like
had a large
influence.
following.
Yeah.
So for me, like I think God, MySpace was big for me in middle school. That's when I
No, that
remember
Oh
tracks.
MySpace.
God.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
MySpace was created in
No.
2003.
Yeah,
So
that's
I was
So
in
I would have
middle
been
school, 7th grade.
I would
I
have been
No.
12.
No, wait. Am I bugging? No, that's right. No, that's right. Yeah, that was middle school.
I'm
Been
not
like
gonna say
11,
whenever,
12.
but
I
it
was
was
Yeah, 7th
definitely
grade.
I was 20
I
in 2003,
I was
and I
graduated.
hate all of you.
Yeah, I think I was already graduated.
But like really, like for me,
Maybe.
my biggest struggle about social
Yeah.
media back then was what color is my background gonna be, and did I want it to fall? Because you could like have different
Oh
things
yeah, like
fill
the
out and
drip.
fall.
Okay, well, bringing that up, Gray. Let's go ahead. Run down your social media history. If
Oh,
TJ was done with his,
oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
sorry,
Yeah, go
TJ.
ahead. No, you're good. Go ahead. We can expand upon stuff later, but yeah, go ahead.
So going from the dinosaur man to so basically what you guys just heard from was old busted hotness. This is new hotness, and it basically started with with MySpace. And yeah, like you guys were talking about earlier, I remember copying the background codes, pasting them, and then you would have to change different brackets and stuff to make it do different things, or type in the color with a number. Like
So you
I
didn't
had
have anything before MySpace?
I don't
No
really
AOL Instant Messenger or anything?
we called it AIM like back then. AOL
Oh,
Instant
Yeah.
well,
Messenger. It was
I
AIM
mean,
for
well,
us.
yeah,
well,
that's what it
yeah,
was
well,
called.
yeah, we
And
called it
I
AIM.
and I
I'm
did,
just
but like it really I don't know, like first off, we had dial-up, so if you wanted to use it, you had to sign on. It took you 10 minutes to sign on to send 5 messages to then you went to your buddy's house. So
But
not really.
nobody had DSL back then. So I mean, yeah, that's
yeah.
No.
DSL didn't come
Well,
around until I couldn't afford DSL in my household until that's all. I don't know when it came around, but I know when we could start affording it, it was probably like my last 2 years of high school, probably something
I
around there.
just MSN was big for me. I remember using MSN, but we had the
Why?
we had high speed internet because I did a lot of gaming on PC back then. So
Oh,
everyone used MSN. That's what you used. I don't know why. Later on, it was Skype. That was a whole thing too. That was basically Discord. You just added everybody to the
Skype,
call.
Yeah.
actually, Skype came around 2003.
Yeah, but like, do you guys remember how it went away for a while? Everybody stopped using it, and then all of a sudden, it was big again.
It was
It was
Ventrilo
like
servers first,
2000.
but it was Ventrilo servers first, and then Skype.
Yeah. Well,
I
no,
think
TeamSpeak actually
Interesting,
before
and
then.
maybe you
TeamSpeak, yeah.
guys, especially you two, TJ and Gray, I would think that you guys would have used Reddit.
I still
Did
use
you guys
Reddit.
use it?
Recently, yeah.
No, but I
Not
mean
back
like
then.
back then, because
Oh,
it
yeah,
came
yeah.
around
And
in
that was another
2003.
thing is like
I used
forums were
StumbleUpon.
just like comments. It wasn't what it is now.
No, yeah, or message boards.
Yeah.
So like then it was. So Facebook came around, but it was. I remember it being nothing like it is today. Now it's so in depth. Back then it was just like you liked the post, and then you scrolled on, and that was it. There was people sharing some
Yeah.
pictures or
You could
whatever.
like a
It was
comment.
really basic.
Yeah, it was like an Instagram.
Yep. And
essentially.
then
No.
for
It
me,
didn't have pictures at first. You couldn't
Oh
put a
yeah, it
picture
was just
no,
up there.
words.
it was
You
just
would
words.
It was
You
just
just
words.
like and
It was
that
an
was it.
Instagram for words. You're right. You're right.
It was like Twitter, how
Yeah.
it was after it came out.
That is probably a better comparison.
Like
Instagram
and
with
then they
words.
started Instagram with words, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all of the platforms were like that. It was just you wrote what was on your mind.
Well, no,
Like,
Instagram. So,
remember Facebook was Angie is hungry, you know?
Yeah, and then
Or
period.
yeah, it was
it would put your name first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Angie is studying for finals. Angie is, you
Yeah,
know,
I remember
excited for the
that.
weekend or something. It was a sentence that you provided.
I
Yeah.
do. Wow. Yes.
I guess maybe I use it a little bit later, but like we didn't really talk about ourselves in the third person. That's a little weird.
So like Instagram, but like Instagram. Sorry, great.
What?
When Instagram was bought by Facebook, I feel like Instagram is basically its catch-all to put like. So if Facebook sees TikTok doing its thing, they put it in Instagram. If Facebook
Yeah.
sees Snapchat
Yeah,
doing its
yeah.
thing, they put it in Instagram. Like they just like
Absolutely.
Instagram
Oh,
is like
yeah.
this jack of all trades thing,
It's trying to
Yeah.
I don't-
monopolize the market.
and they're
See,
And
failing
you,
at it.
Risa, you use Instagram more, right?
On my gaming Instagram app,
Yeah.
no. My personal Instagram, yes, I do.
Well, I meant like you just understand that like it's
Yes.
Um,
My boyfriend
thing.
taught me at a very at the actually very beginning of Instagram, which I wish I would have taken heed more, is he called it that Instagram was going to be a platform that you could really like use to market and then grow a community and then, you know,
Yeah.
be paid some way. And he called that way in the beginning. And
Nice.
I didn't really take heed to that, but I did try to learn the algorithms of Instagram. And if I had more free time, or if I
Definitely.
wasn't so like lazy, I guess is more essential, I would probably
Yeah,
have a bigger following on Instagram than I do, because I do kind of understand the workings.
Well, it's not more about lazy, but it's more just like it's a lot of work that you got to put into content
Absolutely.
and just all of that
I have a
stuff.
lot
And
of close friends who are Insta famous, I guess you could say. My best friend is very Insta famous, and it's a very weird world, in my
It
opinion.
became a word in 2012, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Instagram
That's
It's a
famous.
excellent.
it's weird to be
Insta
somewhere.
famous.
It's weird to be somewhere and people know her from just pictures because she doesn't do videos or really anything. So just following her Instagram with pictures, and then, what that world is like, what brands approach her about, like how the algorithms and how her analytics work and all that. That's a whole different world that I don't have patience for.
Step
So
one:
that's why
be
I don't.
attractive to grow on Instagram.
That is true. She is also extremely beautiful. Shout out to Miss Tran. That is my best friend.
See, and that's another thing too. Like after Facebook, then like I said earlier, Vine. Oh God, I love Vine. There
I
was
love
this one
Vine.
dude, the story time guy. If I say like story
Yep.
time,
Yep.
that guy
Yep.
was
Yeah,
my
he was
favorite.
funny.
Story time. Like you always knew you were in for a good laugh. And
And he
then
did it in 6 seconds.
I used to
6
watch.
seconds,
I
and
used,
it
I
was
used to
funny.
watch. What's his name? King Batch, or I think that's his name.
King.
But that
Batch.
backflip though.
That backflip
that
though.
backflip, though.
See, and then TJ also commented earlier like why he made a Twitter. I remember I made a Twitter because it was literally the beginning of Facebook where it was just 140 characters. You said what you needed to say. But for me, because at that time Facebook had updated, so all my family and everything was on there. So when I
Yes.
was out partying, having like dumb thoughts, that's where my dumb thoughts went, was on
Yes.
Twitter. Like, I'm sure there's,
See,
if you
mine
go,
was Facebook because, or no, maybe it was MySpace. I don't remember. No, Facebook.
that's
I
because
think it was
you guys
Facebook.
saw the beginning of it. I caught it
Yeah.
in like the middle. Well,
But
not really the middle.
but then I moved to Twitter because of what you're talking about, like because
Yeah.
I needed somewhere to dump like my
The
thoughts.
inappropriate thoughts.
It was
Twitter.
basically your online like diary, for lack of a
Yeah.
better word.
That actually,
Well, because
that was
everybody was
Tumblr
on
for me,
Facebook
but
now.
Yep.
Now all my in real life people were on Facebook, and I don't want to, tell
There's
them,
this,
right.
especially living in, the Midwest. My views are totally opposite of everything.
yeah.
There's
I
something to be said about
That's what's
online anonymity.
that's what's wrong with like now,
anonymity. That's
because
such a hard word to say.
It was
you
such,
have to
and I
have,
tried it anyway.
and it's like see an enemy, and then an
And
enemy.
Such a hard
then
word.
I
I
feel
hate
like
that word.
Nemo.
But that's like too like what's going on with today versus back then. Back then you could have a separate thing and nobody knew what it was unless you told them what your handle was.
Right.
And nowadays everything's connected, so the minute you add somebody on one thing, every other app they're on, it pops up. Like I can't tell you, but like before we started all this and I really knew TJ and Bromo, I can't tell you how many times I saw their For You page and I'd be like, oh look, there's another one. Like now you guys are all over it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
TJ's
Pro tip. Turn off share my contacts on all your social media, so no one ever pops up for
TikTok?
you.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good
Yeah,
idea. But yeah, it's
that was how
everywhere.
my employer found out that my nose was pierced.
That-
Because
That is how people I didn't want to find my Snapchat found my Snapchat. So
Oh, Snapchat. There's the next one, Snapchat. Like that one also was like a mini Vine, but it was because you can make the videos longer, but then it also became kind of the way you sent nudes. Like that's
yeah, it
it,
ended up being like that.
it was not really text messages anymore. It was Snapchat.
For
And
those
you
who
knew,
want a timeline, Snapchat actually was launched in 2011, but didn't get popularity until about 2013-ish.
Okay,
yeah,
that makes
that's about
Yeah,
right.
that makes sense.
But
'Cause-
Snapchat even, I mean, that was like to just show stories in a way of like what you're doing.
And then
Yeah,
Instagram.
but in
and
the
It's
DMs,
involved.
no,
Yeah,
they made
yeah.
Snapchat so you could slide into DMs and it disappeared.
Uh-huh.
That is why
Yeah.
they made
Well,
Because they disappeared and it was great.
and
Like
it
they're
would tell you
gone.
if someone would screenshot it and like it was
Oh,
like
word?
but
a
it
lot.
didn't have
Yeah.
like
It would
Yeah,
pop up
you didn't
and-
see that? It would
and when
say
you
I
so
never
and so
used-
screenshot.
I never use Snapchat, so I don't know how it works.
would
Oh,
tell
yeah.
you.
And on the beginning, like where it shows like your streaks and stuff, and then, like how they open the messages, it would show like a blue triangle that was like crossed. That's how you knew
Right.
someone screenshotted it, almost like a diamond or a star, maybe.
Right.
Oh, that's that. Oh,
Yeah.
that's that. Oh,
So that's how you always knew. But it was great because then you would like be like, text
damn, that
someone,
could have
"Hey."
came in handy. I should have used
Yeah.
Snapchat.
Dude, it was
Wow.
great. That was my college years. Those were
It's
awesome.
too late now. It's
Oh.
beyond me.
Can I run
After
down
that-
mine really quick? Oh no, go
I
ahead.
say,
You can finish it.
After that, I kind of fell off the social media thing, and then that's really it. Instagram, but I didn't really use that except college, and that's my rundown of social medias.
I'm gonna do mine fast
kinda
because
boring.
mine is kind of boring, and then I want to make sure Angie can go down her road because I know that social media had a impact with her life. But for me, yes, like anybody else, mine kind of started with AIM, but I didn't really consider AIM like a social media platform. And then after that, obviously MySpace, and I did the whole thing. I designed my backgrounds, I designed the layout, I had my top 8. That was a really big
Top
thing.
8. Oh, God.
People was fighting about top 8s. Like if you didn't have your main ones on top 8, then obviously you're not friends in real life. That's how that went.
Or
Yeah,
whoever you were
it's kind of
dating.
like how people are with Instagram and showing their relationships. Like a lot of relationships got kind of ugly in the beginning because it's like, oh, you're not going to show me on your Instagram. We're not
Oh
really in a
my
relationship.
God.
That was like a whole thing.
See, and that's another thing that I don't post a lot about my husband or anything, and people like have mentioned that. Like one time he was maybe like in the back of my stream or something, and I'm like, if
Keep it
he,
private.
because he doesn't really do social media, so it's like I'm not gonna expose all of his information or whatever if he
I
doesn't.
think the group of us, I think that millennials have this unique ability to understand what life is without social media and understand what it is with social media.
Right.
And we've all been through some shit where we post something on social media and it blew up into this whole other thing.
Oh yeah.
And so a lot of us understand like keeping something personal, right?
Yep.
Private.
Like in
Like,
private.
yeah.
Well,
Because
right.
so that makes sense. Like I mean that
You don't
me
want
and
to
my
put.
boyfriend went through a phase where we posted each other all the time, and then we went through another phase where we don't post each other at all. It doesn't matter to us.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I
I
don't need
think
to be
that's because we have
validated.
Well, and they talk about
unique.
like in psychology that people that do post a lot, like, hey, I'm, you know, just constantly like, happy, 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 happy. And it's like that's what they're showing, and it's like, do you really, really believe that though? You
Right.
know? So I don't know, our social media growing up just has been, I don't know how to it's
It's evolved.
transitioned.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
transitioned for sure. Um so yeah. Oh, TJ brought up Black Planet. I never had Black Planet, but I did want to make him feel old. Black Planet was launched in 2001. So
2001. I was 10.
so yeah,
That's
about
the year
that.
that's the year I graduated high school, by the way.
Makes sense, makes sense. So then I had a Skype, but I never used it with friends like that. Facebook I had, and Facebook was weird for me because I did go through that transit. Facebook is where I had the like online drama that then I was just like, okay, I need to go to a different social media platform so that I can like be myself. Because you get this Facebook, you add everyone from your middle school and like your
Yeah.
family and then
Yeah.
high school,
Yeah.
and then you start coming of age and you start posting not necessarily risque stuff, but more independent
Different
thought.
views. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And then
Mm-hmm.
now it becomes this whole thing. Briefly, I remember me and my friends that I'm in college at this point. Okay. I made a Twitter, I have a Tumblr. But I had posted a picture. No, I didn't even post it. My friend posted it, tagged me in it, and everybody can see when you're tagged in something.
Right.
Um, and it was two of my friends, and I was wearing this like crop top, and one friend had my boob in one hand and the other one like this. So we were like kind of a three-way, and they were like touching my boobs. And it was like a funny picture, but it turned into this whole thing. There are aunties and cousins and friends with these think pieces about how like I went to college and turned into this hoe, and it was like this thing. So for me, Facebook just like, Facebook just wasn't it anymore for me. Then I made
Or
a Twitter. Then I made a Tumblr actually before I made a Twitter. I made a Tumblr where I was able to be my free self.
Yeah.
And then I made a Twitter, and then a Pinterest and Instagram and Snapchat and all that.
So what
I
what what
also
what question? What do you use? I never use Tumblr and I don't know what it's for.
I forgot to
It's for
mention
blogging.
Zanga. Zanga actually was my first social media, which was a blog site where you could post blogs and then like other people's blogs.
Is that
But
what Tumblr is?
essentially, yeah. You can also share pictures and gifs and a lot of the stuff that you see on Twitter that was like NFSW, not no NSFW, uh,
Yeah.
actually was first shared on Tumblr. Actually, Tumblr
I
was
think
where you just put
yeah. I
Oh.
think I heard that
everything.
before.
Like anything that you see, not anything new, but anything that you see from like the early 2000s that was risque or something crazy, chances are it came from Tumblr.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. And
So
then Tumblr decided to say, we don't support that anymore. And that's why Tumblr died.
You
the other really
can't.
bad thing about Facebook, real quick, sorry to interrupt, is do you remember the fights that used to happen if you didn't add a certain family member or they found out that you blocked them because you didn't want them to see your political views or whatever it was changing. Oh my gosh, the amount of drama that happened on Facebook.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I just
Facebook just
didn't.
between.
I didn't say
Oh,
anything. That's the thing. And what I'm hearing from a lot of your stories that is the same as mine, that I would say, is that we started social media, and then the next generation kind of ruined it, because
Yeah.
then we shifted platforms,
Right.
and then they ruined that, and
Right.
so we shifted
I would-
platforms again.
You dang. Was it Alpha after us?
Zoomers. Let's call them Zoomers. It's better.
Zoomers
No,
ruined.
isn't it
wait,
Gen-
no,
isn't
Boomers
Gen-
ruined Facebook.
Right.
MySpace was ruined just because
They just died.
it
They
died.
just died.
MySpace wasn't ruined. I think MySpace was like the purest form of social media. Like if like
Yeah.
It was.
I think it used it properly. Oh, before we go down that rabbit hole, Bromo, go ahead
Mhm.
and tell us your timeline so we can get that on board.
Well, I mean, it's the same as everybody else's. Like I just I don't know kind of how to or what to say or whatever. But
Tell us about Bebo.
Oh yeah,
Bebo
because
was
we
just
never
like
experienced that.
I don't know.
None of us.
yeah, I never.
I
Well,
don't know how to describe. Like it was kind of like MySpace or whatever, but it was mainly just people from school or whatever.
Were you able to like
MSN
design
Yahoo
your
chat
own?
rooms, MSN Messenger. Yeah. And interesting enough, like I don't feel alone that I was pretending to be, which is really bad. Really bad. But you're like what, 10, 12 years old pretending that you're, I don't know,
Yeah, I did that.
18.
18. Yeah.
And stuff like that. It's
ASL.
scary, but
Didn't we all have to lie about our age to get on my? Well, not the old person,
ASL,
but
yeah.
didn't everyone else have to lie about getting on MySpace?
I remember.
Their age?
I think so. You'd be
can't
13
Yeah,
at
I had
what,
to. I lied about my. I side note, to get on MySpace, and because I was lying about my age, I made a Gmail account. Yeah, it was a Gmail. No, an MSN account. My email was Miss Missy 13 because I was like, you had to be 13, so I put 13.
Oh
Everything
my
was
God.
13, and so I always use like the
I
same
thought they would
year.
check, so I
Um,
put my age in it, my fake age in it.
And here I am trying to like get into rated R movies like back then when I was like the age you guys were. I'm trying to get into rated R movies because like movies back then were way more strict. Like if you weren't of age, they were not letting you in a rated R movie. So you would buy a ticket to a PG-13 movie and then go.
Was
to the
it in
rated R
black
movie.
and white or was color available?
I will come through this microphone, okay, Velma.
I'm sorry.
Those of you that are just
anyways,
listening
before-
and
Okay,
can't
keep going,
see,
Bromo. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bromo.
Oh no, Risa looks like Velma. She's wearing an orange shirt. That's why we called her
Wow.
Velma.
and Velma
So-
Dinkley glasses. Let's be
Oh,
real
that's
here.
true too.
They're
That's true,
spot
too.
on almost.
They are
I mean,
bottom.
kinda.
Leave me alone.
Bougie.
So one of the things that I felt about social media is that it connected everyone. I mean, obviously. But the thing is, like, I've been living on my own from like kind of my family and stuff for the past 13 years or so. And just feeling connected to different platforms and stuff has really helped with that. And I think with a lot of us growing up is that we knew that there was other like-minded people. I shared a tweet about it a while back about how even, back when Yahoo chat rooms or whatever, we were talking to people all across, the world. And that was pretty cool. And, we had pen pals before,
Oh,
we
pen pals.
were able to, add someone on a platform. It was like we would try to do pen pals to learn more about different people. And I think that that's also the change in generation is that, we talk to a lot of different people throughout the world and we see different views. And
And you
It
can connect with people
it
from
opened
around the
everything
world.
up to like make diversity
Everything
and
easier.
inclusion. Because
Right.
like
Think about it. Socializing. Us four probably would have passed each other on the street and never talked like 20
oh
years
yeah,
ago.
100%.
Oh no, I totally would
Now-
have swapped for TJ.
Why? Because what? That's just
I don't
rude.
believe you. I don't believe you. Because
I'm
first of all,
trolling.
Because first of all, The reason why, because I'm like 10 years older than you almost. So first of all, if you're passing me in the street, you're like 12 and I'm 20, and I'm looking at you with you probably got your cotton candy in your hand or whatever, and your Barbie, and you're not passing by doing anything. Don't talk that shit to me.
For the viewers that can't see, I'm currently eating popcorn and just listening because it's getting spicy.
We have an ongoing troll, so you'll catch on as we continue. But no, you guys are absolutely right. I think because we are all from different walks of life, because we all live in very different areas of the United States, you know, I think you're right. We wouldn't have been able to communicate and come together like this if it hadn't been for social media. If it hadn't been for Twitch, which actually, for our viewers who don't know, used to be called Justin TV. It was established in 2007. And then somewhere in 2011, it became Twitch, and then it
Bought by Amazon.
it officially transitioned away from Justin TV, like completely severed that old title in 2015. But the switch was made in 2011, but Justin TV, the name was still floating around, and that completely died in 2015.
Fun fact about Twitch, when it was Justin TV, a lot of the streamers back then, like PewDiePie as an example, they used to have a contract with Twitch where
PewDiePie was on Justin TV?
Oh yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
That's where he started.
Yeah, that's where he started it. Yeah. So so they had a thing. So on Twitch, you can sub to somebody, which is basically giving support for like $5, right, a month. Back then, you could have you could sub to somebody as an example as PewDiePie, and it was a lifetime subscription for just one time of $5.
Wait, did that transfer over?
Yeah, it transfers over.
No?
So if you had that subscription way back then on Justin TV and you still have it, you can still renew your sub how you would on Twitch today, and it wouldn't charge you anything. It's just that you paid that $5 one time for a lifetime sub.
Grandfathered in.
Crazy.
It used to be like that. Yeah.
This is really late, but I want to circle back to what Bromo said about pen pals. Did you guys ever have to write like an inmate in school?
An inmate as a child?
I want to say I was in like 6th grade, and I had
never an inmate.
Yeah,
I mean,
we wrote inmates.
I had to write like old people. I remember that, like old people in the neighborhood. You had to write.
But like, I'm almost positive.
I mean, my dad went to jail for a year, and I wrote him.
Okay, that's different.
That's not a pen pal, though. I never met this person.
He's my pen pal.
Remember.
Okay, hold on. Wait, Gray.
What?
TJ, that is a normal father-son bond experience. I mean, not
his dad
not him going
to jail
to
is a bonding experience.
No.
What?
I knew that was going to come out wrong. No, I mean, it makes sense that you, as his son, would write him, and y'all would write back and forth. That makes sense. Having a child write an inmate.
That is weird.
What I'm saying.
That's weird. That's weird.
And we had like school to school like pen pals. We had two. We had an inmate, and we had like a.
Are you sure you wrote an inmate?
I'm positive.
That feels like a liability.
Oh God.
I mean, I don't think. If I remember, I don't think.
I'm imagining it too.
A murder or something.
I'm pretty sure too. Like
dear Big Easy, my name is Gray. How are you doing today? Do you like G.I. Joe? I like G.I. Joe. What's your favorite show? What's your favorite color?
I gotta
How long are you in there?
No, I just remember it was like we handed the teacher our letter, and if there was something that was like too much information, they would give it back to us, and we had to like rewrite it or erase it.
I will say in middle school,
I thought that was like a.
That is not a normal thing.
Like,
it's real.
Yeah, I told you.
That is not a real thing.
Wait.
No way.
Like
that's
writing
insane.
in the inmate?
Wait, hold on. Wait, let me make sure this is for children. Hold on.
Yeah, you can.
What do you even tell the inmate?
Keep kids safe. It's called Keep Kids Safe. Write a prisoner.
What?
Yeah, sounds about right.
How does that keep kids safe?
And then you're writing the Unabomber.
And there's another one, the Peaceful Pen Pal program.
Wait,
was
hang
one
on.
of
But it's
those.
by the Department of Human Services, so it's probably like they're talking to their parents, right?
No, I don't
Hang
think
on.
so.
Wait,
No,
what is
This
it?
was
Hang
definitely
on.
not
What's
my
it say?
parents.
no,
Hang
it's
on. It said, wait, I'm trying to read their about me really quick.
That's hilarious.
I told you it was like I thought that was a normal thing, and then
That's
like as
not
I
a
grew up,
normal
I was
thing.
like,
What is this?
this doesn't seem like I should have been doing this. Like I was like, wait a minute.
Okay, because here's the whole idea, right? You have yes, someone could have went to prison for let's just say they went to prison for nonviolent crimes, right? Like a fraud
Yeah.
situation or something like that. And so they might think like, oh, these groups of people are okay for students to write. Maybe they can teach them how to stay away from the life of crime. But
But
just
it's
because someone was
jail.
arrested for fraud doesn't mean they didn't do fraud and also did child shit on the side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
That's
just the
true.
fraud
Yeah.
stick is what they got
No,
stuck
I
with.
mean,
Like,
I
they could
get
have been
it.
charged with all that.
Yeah, I get it,
I
but like, it's still not right.
I don't think I don't think it holds today. Is it still active,
I don't
Brahma?
know.
I mean, Angie.
I
Is
want
it-
to write a prisoner now. Like, I just want to
Well,
write.
that's the thing is it won't let me like. There's not really like anything to click
Any
to,
details?
to
They
partic-
probably
like
I
participate
just
in it.
remember this lady
stopped.
coming
I'm sure they
in
stopped.
in a business suit. This lady came in like a
Oh,
woman's
this
dress suit,
already
Okay.
sounds
and she
terrible.
gave us like this information, and we wrote a letter, and then we showed it to our teacher.
I
We had
wrote
to edit it.
senior citizens in the community.
No,
I
wrote
wrote
an
other
inmate.
students,
I
but
don't remember what it
by
said.
golly
but
gee, I never wrote an inmate. Where were you raised again?
I was raised in Michigan.
I
Oh,
will say
Detroit. Okay,
in
that makes
Not
all the
Detroit.
sense.
I didn't live anywhere near Detroit at
Hey.
the time.
in like 8th grade. No, what was it? No, maybe I was a freshman. Whenever I was a freshman, I did go to a prison here in Oklahoma. Like we visited the prison.
What
there.
the
fuck?
And
I-
Why
When I
are
was
there
a
sending
freshman, I watched
children
an
to
autopsy.
prison?
in government class, they took us to the prison.
What
You
is
watched an
happening?
autopsy?
Did you guys in anatomy have
It
to watch a
wasn't
live
even like-
autopsy?
No.
Really?
I-
Yeah.
I beheaded a pig.
No,
What?
we did baby sharks or like sharks. That's what
We-
we cut.
we
and
We did
split open.
cats.
God,
We
split up
did
and-
we did
frogs.
cats. We did cats.
We did
We had those
frogs.
too.
We did frogs. Yo,
God.
yo.
Listen, you guys
This
like
explains the need for therapy for millennials across America.
Because we're just
we've
so
had
fucked up.
some real
I
fucked
can't
up
believe
shit.
you guys have never seen you guys didn't have to do a live autopsy. Like we had to sign a
No.
waiver.
On a fucking frog, and I mean,
No.
yes,
I mean, on
as
a
a
human.
medical
It was on
student,
the,
I
it
did
was
on
the big
cadavers.
screen. It was wild, dude. It's so crazy. I'll never forget that. Like
No,
that's something that stuck with me.
I never done anything like that.
Listen,
I
we're
didn't
also
cut
completely off
into
topic,
a
but it's okay.
body until
Promo was
I
like scared
worked-
straight.
What?
Yeah, Bromo was
I
scared
was
straight
like
from.
22.
That's what they were. They told
I
me, hey, it's a
don't-
field
Oh,
trip.
and what
but
was
we're
funny
just
about it
scared straight
was-
from-
I mean, of it, like the
hot.
inmates were
I'm
yelling at
sorry.
the guys. And think about that's high school, like, and they allowed
Wait, the
that.
inmates were yelling at you? You definitely
No,
was
no,
on
no,
stage.
no.
You
They
were
were like
scared straight
whistling at the
program.
guys.
Wait, you guys were yelling at them?
No, no. Like
Wait, let
the
her
inmates
explain
were
it. Say it
yelling,
again.
were like whistling at our like the guys in our class.
Yeah, you were in a scared
Oh.
straight program.
You
I don't know.
100%.
I
Oh
literally
my God.
don't
How
understand
did we
why they
get
took
here? Hold on, wait. How did we get here?
because we
The
started
pen
paying
pal.
Pals. Okay, pen pals. Let's get off this topic because I
My
feel
eyes are.
I'm about
Man,
to
the
lose.
things you find out live on a podcast.
Jesus
Romo was
Christ.
apparently in a scared straight program. I wrote a murderer when I was 11 years old. Like, huh? TIL. Today I learned.
Oh my God.
Well,
So I wish I could hit like a commercial break because this would be a perfect time because two of
I
our
know
hosts are
because my,
broken.
my drink is like,
Yeah,
Almost
my
empty.
yeah, that was funny.
wow. You know what? You've lived a very
I
colorful
can't
life.
believe now it makes me
Dude,
even
maybe
feel
this is
more
why-
awkward.
Yeah,
Like,
see, this is
I'm just like,
no, you know
wow.
what? Hang on. I will share this. I've been listening to a self-love podcast. It's called The Self-Love Fix. And so I am not broken. They did not break me.
Yeah, right. I'm
Why
not
can't
broke.
you say that with a straight face,
I
Rama?
mean, I see now. I'm thinking about like during this
Because I'm
autopsy,
just
they
thinking
they
of
peel
the
your face
scared
back. It's so
straight.
crazy.
Dude,
Maybe it
why
was
are you?
punked instead. Maybe it was like Ashton Kutcher just like punking us, you know?
Y'all.
I don't.
Wow.
All right, so let's
Uh,
let's get back on track to social media. So,
I mean, that's kind of
like,
social media.
I mean, I would
Yeah.
have probably tweeted that out.
yeah, I'm gonna put this
on
all
a
on.
field
Yeah,
trip to the prison. I don't know if I'll survive.
yeah. So,
GG.
like, to me, I hate what social media has become because, like,
All that matters.
and I'll use Facebook as an example because like everybody hates Facebook.
But yeah, okay.
So
Go
Facebook
ahead.
started out as pure, right? Facebook started out as a way for college students to kind of interact with each other on the internet. Now it's become like
Blue
information
versus
gathering
red.
service. Not even that. It's not even that. That's a part of it too. But it's like an information gathering service where it tries to get as much information about you as possible and then sells it to the highest bidder so they can make billions of dollars. And then on top of that,
Right.
you have stuff like the misinformation campaigns. Like I remember when I was a kid and when we were on the internet, our parents would tell us, don't believe everything you see on the internet. Don't believe everything
Yeah.
you hear on the
Yeah.
internet.
Yeah,
Anybody lies on the
absolutely.
internet. And
Yep.
now
You don't know
people
who's
will
on the other
take
side typing
Yeah.
that. Don't
Yeah.
say that. Don't tell them that.
and now
Although
people
I
will
did.
Don't throw your
literally
business out there.
Yeah.
people will take a article from God knows where, could be a doctor from whoever, and take it as source of truth,
Or
right?
not even a doctor.
And then
Someone
then
just
they'll
wrote
say
Dr. John. Or
yeah,
Dr. Gray.
and then they'll say they did their own research. And I'm not pointing fingers at it. This is on both sides. Like all our feeds are algorithmically I can't even say that word right. Algorithm fed. You know what I'm trying to say.
But you know what I do
Fed
to
to kind of
though?
make bias towards whatever we're trying to see, right? Nothing like
Yeah.
like we're all being fed misinformation. Even stuff I want to agree with is being put to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, I agree with that because that's like I want to believe that.
Right. But hang on, can I tell you what like I do in that situation? Because like if there is something that is an important issue or something, I will like gather research. I will at least look at 5
Sources.
or so articles, and
You
see the
realize that there's a
consistency.
group of people who don't understand how to research. There's this
No.
whole thing
Right,
about
right.
No,
No,
do
it's
and
your
not
own
common
research.
and that's
sense.
the frustration is that don't just
Do your
read
own
one single
research. Do
thing.
your own research. But there are people who have never learned how to properly do research.
Do you
I
remember
mean, it's
when
all
that misinformation campaign was going through and there was all those pictures about like it was like a screenshot and it would say it would have show the highlight and then if you clicked on the picture it would say, see, I bet you didn't read past this. This is the
That's what
campaign
Twitter
ad.
does
yeah.
And it got spread so many times.
now.
It was like
Oh
a
wait, no,
100
never mind.
million. And it's like that's what a lot of
It's
people
all
just
about
read
it's all about the headline. Yeah, it's just the headline.
like a
Like you see a headline, you're like, oh, see, I told you that this was this because I have this proof right here
Confirmation bias.
that I've seen that.
Yep.
Right.
And or like
Absolutely.
the other thing, like you hear a lot of big streamers, podcasters, whatever, talk about it now. Influencers, we'll use that. That's a better term because it's a bigger group. Thumbnails. That's one of the because
Yeah, it's
people,
clickbait.
us as humans, yeah, clickbait. Us as humans are what we see is what we're interested in. Like the eye is attracted to movement and color. So usually the more colorful it is and the more vibrant or whatever's going on, you're gonna click it. Or like TJ said, the algorithm, it puts all these videos, ads, and sometimes it's complete bullshit, let's be honest. Like you click something, you start reading, you're like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever read.
But that's
And
the
then
thing though.
you move on.
But that's the thing.
Are people reading it?
It's not.
Some
It's
people know.
but I'm saying it's not. It's not just the news. It's not just that.
Like,
Social
No.
media in general has turned to because as an example, and I'll use myself as an example. Let's say I'm going out of town and I happen to rent a car, and maybe I rented a Mercedes G-Wagon. Let's just say that. I can
They're
post
gonna
on my
get ads for it.
yeah, no. I can post on. I can take
Oh.
a picture of myself standing in front of it. I can post in front of it, and I can make a caption like, "Yeah, I've been doing big things, da 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 X Y Z." And then my friends and family see that, and they thinking like, "Oh, well, TJ coming up. He got a G-Wagon type thing," and I'm just giving them this false sense of like, "Hey, I'm making all this money that I can afford this G-Wagon now," and I just put that on there, and I just maybe thought it was a cool picture, like I'm doing big things, blah 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 blah, whatever caption I put on there, to kind of have the it has the impression that I am more than what I am, because like it's just a little highlight reel that I put out there on the internet, and they're not seeing everything that's going on behind the scenes. Or I've been to parties where like we've rented a mansion, and I posted pictures on my Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. If you scroll back far enough, me holding bottles and me surrounding bottles and beautiful girls around me in the club, and I'm doing big things. And I wasn't making that much money back then. Like I wasn't balling like that. Like I wasn't DJ Khaled. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah,
But like,
'cause
but
you
like I
perceive
had,
your
but
image
but
as whatever you
Perception
yeah,
is everything.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I
The
appeared
thing is,
so.
it's not that. It's more about the generation. It's not social media. It's the generation that is perceiving it that way.
Well, it's
So
not just a generation; it's time
It's
too.
I don't agree with that because it expands through multiple generations that are behaving this way with social media.
and it's
So
not.
you
But
can't just say
it's so much more than that, because like as an example, like somebody can put a fucking uh Photoshop picture like you, Angie, as an example. You could put a Photoshop picture of you up, like super ultra Coke bottle face and body and all that stuff on
she has that
Instagram.
naturally.
Yeah, and it doesn't look natural, obviously.
well,
And then somebody will say, "Oh my God, I wish I had that body," type thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's not even real, because you yourself like edited it to make yourself appear so you would appear liked. It's so many layers of what social
but
media's
see, this
become.
is what's different between me and you, though, is like and one of the reasons why I have been changing who I am and stuff is because of TikTok. One of the things that I've mentioned to a few people is that TikTok has changed me because TikTok is different, and their videos are real. Like you see there's lots of women that will be like, social, this is your reminder that social media is fake, and then they show their natural bodies, and they show that everybody has hair, and everybody, doesn't look glamorous like Instagram
But not
models or
everybody does
whatever.
that though. But not
And
everybody
Yeah,
does
but
that.
that's also your algorithm too, because
Right.
you watch
right,
those
and
videos. I
and
don't
I
see those.
understand that, so I'm just trying to explain that, always keep in mind that, yeah, social media isn't real, and people are, putting out there what they want you to see, as
Yep.
far as like in having as far as having a private life, like, you put out what you want to. Like I mentioned, I'm not putting out my children's information. Like I don't put that. It's about me. It's about my story and my thoughts and everything. So
Right.
I'm not, putting other information out there. Or I'm
So,
not going.
I guess
I
in
don't want
that
to.
regard, we can all agree that we all have our own personal experience and outlooks on what social media is, what it
Right.
has been, what it is, and what it will continue to be. In my opinion, I'm more with TJ on the fact that I do feel like social media um, is kind of a shit show right now. However, I'm also in this position of seeing the benefits of social media and how
Oh,
social media can be
absolutely.
used to change a lot of people's lives. I look at that. Like social media is now a livelihood for a lot of people who would have otherwise been in situations that um, might have been detrimental to their health, whether it be mentally or physical or otherwise, right? Social media has now given people the opportunity to make a living without slaving over a 9 to 5 or, XYZ, right?
Correct.
So in that regard, I will always tilt my hat to social media because and to the people who figure out how to monetize social media. Am I personally a fan of the monetization of social media? No, but I also can appreciate how it's changed and bettered other people's lives. So that's kind of where I stand in social media because it doesn't necessarily work for me, but I can't knock it working for other people.
It,
Well,
and,
look
I'm
and,
at
not.
like
And no,
So
yeah, social media does do good things. Don't get me wrong. Like it does do good things. Like people do good things on social media, but like a lot of people don't, and a lot of people use it for nefarious purposes. And I wish more people would look at social media as as something that's not a source of truth, and just see it as
Oh,
for what
yeah.
and look at it for what it is, and is a source of entertainment.
Exactly.
never
In its purest form.
That's what
It,
it
it,
is.
it should
It's
not go
not.
beyond.
advertising something.
Yeah, it should
But
not
you're
go
talking
beyond
about a
that.
group of
I
people.
even used to read newspapers, like freaking.
You're talking about a group of people, regardless
Or-
of generations, because we can spread this along, right? From pinup models to whatever the trend was at that decade to Instagram models. And I'm speaking because I'm a woman. I'm speaking specifically to the female form and how we have perceived ourselves and how we change ourselves based off of what the social norm is, right? Um, it's a story as old as time. There's always someone who's going to look at, let's just say, there's always going to be a girl who looks at a woman on Instagram or back in the 50s on like these catalogs or on TV during the 90s and these sitcoms and stuff and say, I want to look like that, even though that person doesn't look like that, right?
Yeah,
I'm just using that specific example. That specific example. That is something that unfortunately is going to be carried through society past our lifetime, in my opinion. What's offsetting that, like she said, with videos from TikTok and even other platforms, I've seen it like, transcend, is a lot of people are talking about self-love and self-like and making sure that these girls know that they can love the body that they're in currently. And I speak only towards the women just because I am a woman, but I also see videos empowering men and telling them that they can appreciate their bodies and they can love their dad bod and they don't have to look like a Brad Pitt or whoever is
Right.
your ideal body mass, or it's okay for them to cry, it's okay for them to be emotional, it's okay for them to speak their feelings,
Paint your
etc.
fingernails.
Do express yourself, all those things are
Yeah.
happening, right? So I do see those happening, but I also know that unfortunately society's majority will always be the loudest and someone will always be influenced and someone will always think
Yep.
that what is being portrayed in the masses is reality,
Right.
unfortunately.
That is
It's
that,
just like
and that's the point of
And-
the influencer, though.
Well,
The
and that's the
easiest
frustrating
way-
part. Hang on, is about
Sorry.
how social media has evolved. I mean, we owe Britney a freaking apology on calling her fat. Like we
call it that.
owe
That's
Yeah.
a whole nother
all
subject,
the
though.
Christina Aguilera. Well, all the women, like that we used to say was fat.
Well, that was, like I said, that's a social standard that has been and will continue to be in play. And just because we are making strides to better that now
Right.
doesn't negate the fact that there are still going to be these unobtainable
Right.
like
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
ideas for not just women but also for men. You
Right.
have 21-year-olds who are flexing like they're multimillionaires.
Right.
And it's giving this idea that if you are a teenage boy and you just graduated and if you haven't made your first million, you are doing something wrong. That is not an actual obtainable reality for a majority of people. You know what I'm saying? But that is the perception that they are given now.
Yeah.
You're given this perception that if you're on social media as a teenager, you have to monetize your social media. Period. That is the idea that is given.
I would just go back to not being on social media if that was the case, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
If
but
it
you're
was
talking
forced
about
upon me, like just being like, hey, you need to have a social presence or something.
but I'm not saying that they're getting forced. I'm saying you see all your friends on social
Well,
media
yeah,
and then
no,
you
I'm
go onto
saying-
social media and then you
Yeah.
see that if you monetize your social media, that this is the life you can have.
Right.
It then as a teenager will manipulate your mind and think, I need to monetize my social media. I need to post every day. I need to show more skin. I need to flex like I'm doing something. I need to all of these things that I feel like it has evolved into.
There's
Right?
literally
No.
there's literally a job that didn't exist 10 years ago, which is social media marketer or manager or something like that. Like that job didn't
Right.
exist 10 or 15 years ago because of social
Right.
media that exists, because brands know that you need to use social media for marketing purposes,
Right.
and you can reach your audience at way cheaper than spending $1
Right.
million on a commercial where you can just make a
Right,
tweet
absolutely.
where like Coke can make
I
Or
a
a
will
tweet.
never,
TikTok.
Or a TikTok, yep, exactly.
Get a
I
trend
will
going.
never forget
How
the
much
story.
cranberry
ahead.
juice do they sell? Ocean water, I mean.
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead,
what did
Gray.
you
Ocean
say, Greg?
water.
What?
Yeah, what were you
Oh,
saying,
I
Gray?
was just thinking I will never forget the story about, I would say 5 years ago, where when Twitter started to blow up really big and everybody was using hashtags, were becoming popular and all that.
Hashtag.
And this gentleman ran out of toilet paper on a train, and he tweeted at the company with this train and like the time and what stall he was in. And I kid you, I shit you not.
Had to do it. You had to do it.
Yeah, I
Oh
did,
my
dude.
god.
I kid you not that like one of the attendants on the train came and handed the man toilet paper, and that should just give you an idea of what social media can do. Like,
Yeah.
you're out of TP, you can get some poo poo paper just by sending a tweet.
There's this girl on TikTok right now. I saw her TikTok on my page today, where she says she's a graphic artist, and she's going around redoing
I saw
people's
that.
companies logos.
Logos.
And these companies are taking those logos and making them their logo on TikTok. And that's just and that's just
Is
free
she
marketing.
giving them money?
I don't know if she's giving them money.
Or-
I don't know if they're paying her.
Is she getting money? Sorry.
I don't know if they're
Is she
paying her,
giving-
but like they'll
getting
come and
money?
say, but like they'll say like, hey, can you do mine next? And she'll say some funny stuff about it or whatever. Like, I didn't like McDonald's arch. It looks like, I think the one today was like, I didn't like McDonald's arch. It looks
Wait,
like legs or something
what?
like that. And
I'll have to look at it.
I'll send it to you. And then so she like remakes it like this really silly amateurish looking logo. And then these companies are taking the logo on TikTok and making it their logo. Like if you go to TikTok's official page and look at their logo, she made that. And she's been doing it for like 2 weeks now. Yeah. Go on TikTok and look up TikTok's official page and look at their logo. She made that logo. And like she's coming up every like every couple of days she keeps doing this, and it's going viral where she's doing it. And these companies are capitalizing off of it by doing so. So like now people are saying like, oh, McDonald's is cool, they're hip, they're with us now, let's go get some McDonald's. Or like when Travis Scott had his Travis Scott burger or whatever, or meal, or something, whatever he had at McDonald's, like
The cactus jack.
yeah, like social media is like crazy with the marketing, and that's what it's being used for now. Like initially it was a way for friends to interact with each other on the internet. Now, which is 100% sell, buy, you need to buy this, you need to sell this, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that, you need to be wearing this, you need to be wearing that. And I feel
whatever
like
you tweet about, then you're gonna start getting ads about it.
yeah, and then
Well,
and
and
then
talk
Whatever you
about
think
it.
about, you
Yeah.
talk about it. You
Bring it up once.
You're gonna
With
get that ad for that new bed or whatever.
Like a week. You can
With-
say,
Yeah.
wow,
with that
that's a
being-
cool sticker, and then you have a million ads for stickers. You're like, holy shit, come on. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
it's ridiculous.
With
at some
that being
point.
said, I think what we've expanded on is just showing that social media has changed over the last 20, 30, no, 20, am I going too far? 20 years,
Yeah,
right?
probably 20.
25
okay,
years.
now you pushing it.
I know. Since the last, let's just say 25 years, we have really expanded this this market of what I don't even think the original designers of their social media platform expected it to be. I think that what we saw in the beginning, especially with things like AIM and stuff, was just a quick way for us to reach our friends, to going to MySpace and realizing we could be graphic designers and computer programmers and make our own, creations and be really proud about what our pages look like, what the colors look like, how we changed it, always trying to update our top 5 or top 8 and all that great stuff. And then moving on to Facebook and exploring what that world looked like, and past Facebook, all these other different avenues that came with social media, and how it's just expanded into what it is today and what it is now, to where now we can use social media for marketing and for jobs and creating these whole careers. So I think that we can all agree that social media has grown up with us.
Yeah.
And it's been an
Right.
honor to be a part of this journey. Kind of afraid of where it's going to go past this. I do not have a TikTok, by the way, because I refuse to download any more social media.
I have
I
one, but I
downloaded
don't post any
Reddit and I don't
content.
even know like what it is.
I
give
downloaded
up on
TikTok,
it.
but I think I'm done after TikTok. Like, I don't know if I can handle anymore because like
I
can't
told
keep
my
up.
boyfriend today, I said, if any more social media platforms come out that end up like actually standing the test of time, I
Yeah.
might just make my username, like I might steal my username and then delete the app. Just so that no one takes my username in case in the future I do decide maybe I want to be on this platform.
Yeah,
You know what
of
I'm
course.
saying? Because
Yep,
it's like
makes sense.
That
I
makes
like my
sense.
username. I don't want it to anybody to take it. It's a nice username.
Yeah, that
Anyway,
makes sense.
point being, so thank you guys for joining us for our beautiful podcast.
Another episode of
you.
Millenniolds.
It's
Come
been
on, put
really
some oomph
great.
into it.
Shut up. Can I do what I do?
Let
No,
Risa
you
do
wait.
her
Why
thing.
don't you do the outro today,
Oh,
Grace?
boy.
All right,
You
all
want to
right,
go
all
ahead.
right. Thank you,
Everyone
chat
have a
and
good
listeners,
night
for coming to
or
our latest
morning
episode of
or day.
Millenniolds, the 140 characters or less about social media. My outro is way better than Risa's. Let's all get it together.
That was like,
I'm
Terrible.
talking. It really was
yeah.
bad.
Hey,
It was
fun fact, I got
really
a
bad.
drama scholarship once. Maybe I'll try it. Are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, take 3.
I'm
Hi,
leaving all this
thank
in,
you
by the way.
so much for joining us today.
No.
We appreciate it. We hope you all learned something from this podcast and take it home with you. And
That
yeah, I
ain't
don't
it,
know where else
Chief.
I'm going with this.
That's not boo.
Okay,
If I had
on that
I could totally
that
nailed it,
note,
but I
we
started
thank you
laughing
so
inside.
much for joining us. Please like, share, and follow. Please listen to us anywhere that you are listening to podcasts. Please follow us on Instagram and Twitter and any other social media platforms that we may be on. There will be linked in our bios. And again, thank you so much for joining us. And we will be back soon. Just check our Twitter for our next podcast date and time. And until then, see y'all later.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Peace.